Hello everybody, how's it going? Jason here, make another little video blog for y'all. Excuse me. So I'm here again at Himeji Castle. Couldn't figure it out last time. Was walking around, I couldn't find the castle, and so eventually I just gave up. But I came back with gumption, to try it again, and I found it, and here it is. That's right, a giant building is covering the castle, and you can see a picture of what it's supposed to look like. I guess they're doing some sort of construction on it. I have really good luck with that sort of stuff. Every time I go to see some really famous thing in Japan, it's always under construction. So I'm not going to be able to see it, but there's a picture of it, which is, it's almost as good, I guess, and that's fine. But yeah, pretty funny. So I'm not going to make it in, but you can see it would be pretty. You can tell it's probably very beautiful, and when they finish, the construction on it, 5 years or so, I'm sure it'll be, even nicer. But yeah. So the title of this video is going to be something along the lines of like the Kamigori town, the pandemic of 2013, and the reason for that is because everybody in town is sick. Everyone has a cold, and I mean literally like every single person in town has a cold. And in Japan it's like I feel like everyone has a cold about 9 months of the year. They're either getting better or getting worse, or right in the thick of it. It has to do with a few different things. I think one of the main things is that everyone tries really, really hard to avoid getting a cold, and as a result, everyone wears these masks and they don't touch anything. So the cold strains just get stronger and stronger in an effort to survive. And so when you do eventually get one, inevitably, it's bad. And the one that I have is particularly disgusting and bad. So yeah, and I'm sure that I acquired it in one of two equally disgusting situations that occurred last week. Excuse me, which was the last week of school. And so, like I said, everyone's sick, and I was doing really good. Hadn't had a cold, was doing well. And then just these two just horrible events occurred. The first one, a little pet peeve of mine, is that I don't like strangers' breath on me. Like, I have this weird thing where, like, because I don't like it, it always happens. I'll be walking down the street and someone will just turn and go, ugh, and just like hot breath all over my face and stuff. So I hate it. And in Japan, it's really close quarters. You're around people a lot, so it happens more and more often than it would normally. So yeah, like a week ago, I was at the grocery store, and like, so everyone wears these masks all the time. Even in the strangest situations, like you'll see people driving down the street in their car by themselves with a mask on, or like riding a bicycle down a dirt road. There's not a person in sight for like a mile, and they've got this mask on. And so inevitably, when they take it off, it's just it's just all kinds of disgusting particles that just now, been brewing, just released onto the world. So I'm at the grocery store, and I'm in line, and it's a new cashier, and so everything's taking a long time, so the line's building up, and in an effort, for everyone to be nice to each other, they're like compacting closer and closer. So I've got this lady like right here, and there's a guy behind me, pretty tall guy for a Japanese person, because he was like taller than me, so, and I could tell he was sick. He was just, kind of that old guy cough, that low, rumbly, kind of a thing. So he's standing behind me, and I'm doing everything I can to keep it together, and I can feel every time he, his breath comes out, and it just like hits my neck and wraps around, and I'm trying to take the smallest, little, shortest breaths you can imagine, but I could just feel it penetrating every part of my being. And the whole situation probably took about 2 minutes to occur in its entirety, but it felt like a lifetime. I felt like I was never going to get out of that line, and by the time I left, I felt thoroughly infected. by whatever this guy had. Um, so I don't know if it was him or not, but he's definitely in the running for a guy who gave me this disgusting cold that I have. Ugh. And then the other and probably more likely scenario is that I got it at school. And at the school, again, it's close quarters, and these little kids, they constantly have a cold. And in Japan, nobody blows their nose. It's like considered rude to blow your nose, but it's not considered rude or offensive to just have like snot and just grossness just dripping out of your face. And so like sometimes I'll be they climb on me and we run around and play and stuff, and sometimes like some kid will run up and like oh, and give me a hug, and then they run away, and I look down at my pants and there's just like snot and boogers and just all kinds of disgusting things attached to my pant legs. So the other day, like again, I think it was the day after that guy at the grocery store breathed all over my everything. I was in school and it was midday, and this little cute girl had come to school in a mask. I remember her getting there, and I'm like, oh, she's got a cold. That's sad and cute. And so, but they keep them on when their parents are there, dropping them off, and as soon as their parents are gone, you take them off, because if you've ever worn those things, they're gross. It's just hot breath and all in your, yeah. So this girl, we're playing, and I can see her from across the room. She like sees me. She's like, oh, Jason Sensei, and she starts running towards me. And so I squat down. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a hug. So I'm squatting down, and she runs like all the way up to like 2 feet to me, and she stops and and just like sneeze coughs, and I could see it. It just came right at me, and I was like, it was in my face. I got it in my eyes, and then she continued. She just ran up and gave me a big hug, and I could feel it like on my cheeks. She like smeared it in there, and it was so gross, and I couldn't do anything. Just my initial, just I've been hit, kind of a reaction, and so she got me good. Just everything, just like an infectious explosion of whatever onto my face, and she didn't even think anything of it. She's a cute little girl. She just, oh, I have to sneeze, and unexpectedly, so I'm just gonna sneeze and rocket launch my infection into your face. So I think that's probably what did it, and and it's bad, but I'm trying not to let it get to me because I'm on vacation now. School ended, so I've got like a week vacation to mess around, and although I'm sick, I'm trying to get out there. Again, because there's so much cold and infection everywhere in Japan, they have all kinds of crazy cold medicine. The problem with that is that it's all written in complicated kanji and stuff, so like I can't read the backs of any boxes really. It's all weird kanji that I've never seen and never studied. So like if you want to know the calorie count or like what's in anything, you don't know. You just kind of have to guess. The one thing that I can read that is in every cold medicine, pretty much I feel like everything in Japan, is caffeine. It's an American word, so it's written in katakana, so I can read it. And I feel like the cold medicine mostly is caffeine. You take like a pill, and it's like each pill contains like 4 Coca-Colas worth of caffeine. So I'm doing that today. I'm all jacked up on caffeine, and I forgot about it too. So I took 2 cold pills, which is like 9 cups of coffee, and then I had a cup of coffee in the morning before I took off. So like my hands are a little shaky, and I feel weird. I'm definitely, I can tell that I'm sick, but the caffeine is, I'm flying, riding high on that. So yeah, I'm sick. It's gross. Everybody's sick. Everybody in town is sick. Everybody in the country, I feel like, is sick. And if they're not sick, enjoy it. Enjoy these, 2 days that you have that you're not sick, because it's coming. It's coming to get you, like it got me. But yeah. So anyway, other than that, things are pretty good. met some friends, went out to Kobe, and had an awesome time. They took me out drinking and then to a drag show, which was really, really interesting. It was probably the most intricate show I've ever been to, and keep in mind I've been to Vegas shows, I've been to some stuff, and this was very well done for like a small little tranny bar, I guess you would call it. They did a fab job, and the whole time they kept telling me, my friends are like, you like Japanese culture. This is Japanese culture. I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. So they got me all drunk, liquored up, and then took me to this event, which was great. I have some pictures I'll post because they're something else. It's pretty ridiculous. I wanted to make a video, but they said no videos, and I can see why, because it's the kind of thing you want to bring people in to see, because it's worth seeing. If you're ever in Japan, if you're in Kobe, or really anywhere, like and you're comfortable with your sexuality, I would go check one out, because they're definitely something to see. So yeah, anyway, other than that, that's about all that's going on. I'm gonna keep this short and let everybody go, but yeah, I hope everything's going well back in the States and everything. I'll see you guys in February when I have my real vacation, and I'll be back and we'll kick it. So yeah, love everybody. Have a good day, and hope you enjoyed this, and there'll be more to come. So yeah, peace.